What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and in this week's episode I'm gonna talk about my own deck, Yanmega Magnezone. So what makes this deck a good choice to play with? First off, the deck uses Yanmega Prime, which is a really fast stage 1 attacker that needs no energies to attack due to his Pokebody, which lets you use all of his attacks for 0 energies as long as you have the same hand size as your opponent, which is really easy to pull off with cards like Copycat and Judge, and Magnezone's Magnetic Draw also comes in handy to match your opponent's hand size. Okay, what else is good about Yanmega Prime? Well, the card has anything going for it. It has a free retreat cost, which lets you switch him out whenever you like, and it also has a snipe attack, which deals 40 damage to a Pokemon of your choice, which is awesome when you combine that with Kingdra Prime's Spray Splash. Not many people use Kingdra Prime anymore as a tech card in this deck, or they only put in 1 Kingdra Prime instead of 2. But I think it's still pretty awesome to deal 10 extra damage each turn to help Yanmega Prime snipe for 50 damage instead of 40. Now to Yanmega's second attack, Sonic Boom, which deals 70 damage without weakness or resistance, which means straight up 70 damage to each Pokemon, except if they have a Pokebody or something to reduce their damage like a defender or something. And that means Yanmega Prime can 2-hit KO most powerful Pokemon out there, if you consider that Kingdra Prime can boost those attacks each turn. Also, it has a resistance to fighting, which is nice to cover up for Magnezone's weakness. And it also has 110 HP for a stage 1, which is pretty decent. I also put in a max potion in this deck just because it can completely heal your Yanmega Prime because he doesn't have any energies attached to him. Also, it's nice to heal up your Kingdra Prime and even Magnezone Prime after he used his Lost Burn attack, which I'll be talking about in a second. Okay, Magnezone Prime. What can I say? It's an awesome card to have, and it has a Pokepower called Magnetic Draw, which lets you draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand each turn, which is one of the most powerful draw support you can have in the entire game. Also, it has an attack that can one-hit KO anyone. Yeah, that's right. It has an attack that deals 50 damage times the number of energy cards you're willing to put in the Lost Zone. And you can even choose energies that are attached to other Pokemon on the bench. That's why people often use a tech card like Pachirisu, which has a Pokepower called Self-Generation. And that lets you attach 2 lightning energies from your hand to Pachirisu when you drop him on the bench. So that's great to use those energies for Magnezone's Lost Burn. Also, Junichi is a great choice, and this is the tech card I chose for my deck, just because it has an attack that lets you devolve as many Pokemon up to the number of psychic energies attached to Junichi. And this is really awesome because you can knock out Pokemon that have been evolved by using a rare candy, like Typhlosion Prime for example. Let us say Yanmega Prime is our active Pokemon, and we have Kingdra Prime and Junichi out, and your opponent has a Typhlosion Prime sitting on the bench. It's our turn, and we damage that Typhlosion Prime with a Spray Splash to deal 10 damage, and after that we use the Yanmega Prime's linear attack to damage him again. That Typhlosion Prime has 5 damage counters on him. Next turn we get hit and Yanmega receives some damage, and he can even be knocked out, but we can destroy the Typhlosion Prime we're after with another Spray Splash and then use Junichi to devolve it. That way he goes back to his Cyndaquil and gets knocked out, which is great to stop those Typhlosion Primes in a Reshifusion deck. And another great thing about Junichi is his Pokepower, which lets you flip 3 coins when you drop him on the bench, and for each head you can pick a Psychic Energy out of your discard pile and attach it to Junichi, which can also help out Magnezone Prime with his Lost Burn. And lastly, Kingdra Prime. This Pokemon is great because it can drop 1 damage counter each turn on one of your opponent's Pokemon with his Pokepower Spray Splash, and it can also deal some nice damage with its attack Dragon Steam, which deals 60 damage for a simple water energy. The only downside is that the attack power is only 20 when your opponent has a fire Pokemon in play, but still it's a nice card for its Pokepower and to knock out some Downfall Primes. And lastly, Cleffa. This is a card that I always put in my deck just to refresh my hand when I have really bad cards. Now to trainer cards. Well, I already explained the great use of a max potion in this deck. Next up is Rare Candy, which is a must for every deck that uses stage 2 Pokemon. That way the deck gets an awesome speed boost, which is really needed for stage 2 Pokemon. And here are some more trainer cards. Pokemon Communication to search your deck for a Pokemon you need, Pokemon Catcher to bring up Pokemon from your opponent's bench that you want to knock out, or to slow down your opponent by bringing up a Pokemon with a high retreat cost, and I also use the switch in my deck just in case one of my Magnezones gets stuck in the active spot. Next up is Junk Arm, which is a great card to discard some of the cards in your hand that you don't need in exchange to get back an item card out of your discard pile, and that helps you to draw more cards with Magnezone's Magnetic Draw, and also gives you back nice cards like Rare Candy, Max Potion, Pokemon Communication, Catcher, and many more. Now for the supporters. I use Pokemon Collector like everyone, Judge and Copycat to match my opponent's hand size, and a Twins just in case I start off with a really bad hand, and a couple of Sage Training to draw the cards I need. And I guess that's it for this week's deck analysis. Now let's check out Poké News. Well, Well, to start off, the third Japanese set, Psycho Drive and Hill Blizzard, is finally out now, and I've seen a couple of booster openings on YouTube already. So if you're able to get some of these booster packs on eBay, go ahead because there are really nice cards in that set. Also, there's news about the fourth Japanese black and white set, and that set will be called Dark Rush. It will contain 69 cards, excluding the secret rare ones, so probably around 70 cards. Also, it's planned to be released on the 16th of December, and Zoroark will be on the cover of the booster packs. An interesting fact about this set is that they will focus on dark Pokémon and trainers that will work with them. I also think that this set will contain Zoroark EX since they focus on dark Pokémon and he's on the cover and stuff, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. There will also be a blister of this set, which will contain 4 packs of the Dark Rush set with an additional promo card, and that promo card will be Umbreon. The thing that most people are wondering right now is if they plan on bringing back the dark Pokémon like in the old school Team Rocket set, where they have Dark Charizard, for example, or if they just mean the dark type Pokémon in general. We'll have to wait and see. More great news! 3 cards of the new English black and white set, Noble Victories, have been revealed. Kyurem, Heydragon, and Victini. All 3 cards will be holographic, and Victini is one of the new full art cards. The pre-release of this set will take place in the last week of October and the first weekend of November. So if the pre-release isn't far from where you live, I suggest you go because it's always nice to go to a Pokemon event. Also, it's awesome to hear that the set itself will be released on November 16. So if you people are still doubting on what you want for Christmas and stuff, well, here's your answer. Also, new league promos have been revealed. Here we see Lillipup promo and a Grass Energy promo. If you want to see what promos you can earn at leagues this year, go check them out at Pokebeach.com. The next thing on my list is the new black and white trainer kit. It's already been released, so if you plan on playing Pokemon TCG for the first time, go buy yourself one of these trainer kits because they're really cheap and it'll be easy for you to learn the game with its pre-made decks. And lastly, the new Reshiram and Zekrom EX battle decks, which I talked about in the previous episode, leaked on the internet much sooner than expected and with translations soon. Here are some of the cards. Reshiram EX, with an incredible HP of 180, you can't complain to begin with, right? Yeah, you bet. And it also has great attacks. His first attack is called Shining Claw, and for a fire and a double Carlos energy, you can deal 50 damage and flip a coin. If hits, this attack deals 80 damage instead, and that's a really good attack. His second attack is called Brave Fire, and it deals 150 damage for 2 fires and a double Carlos energy, but you have to flip a coin, and if it steals, you deal 50 damage to yourself, which isn't that bad considering that you have an HP of 180, but I think the only downside to this card is his big retreat cost of 3, but other than that, he's really good. How about Zekrom EX? Well, as expected, Zekrom has the same HP and the same attack cost as Reshiram. His first attack is also called Shining Claw, and it's basically the same attack as Reshiram's, except he needs a lightning energy and a double Carlos energy. Now to his second attack, Strong Volt. This powerful attack deals 150 damage for 2 lightning and a double Carlos energy, and you must also flip a coin, but when it steals, you have to discard 2 energies attached to Zekrom EX, which is way better than doing 50 damage to yourself in my opinion. Now to the trainer cards. We start with Ultra Ball, which is a card that lets you search for any Pokemon and put it in your hand, but you have to discard 2 cards in your hand first. This could be great in fast decks to bring out the Pokemon they need. Next up is Random Receiver. This is a trainer card which lets you reveal the top cards of your deck until you reveal a supporter card, and then put that card in your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. Well, this isn't actually one of the great trainer cards out there, but still, it's a new trainer card. And lastly, N. N is a supporter card that states each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck, and then each player draws the same number of cards as their remaining prize cards. Well, this could be great in an Yanmega Prime deck to match your opponent's hand size, but it has to be an even battle for that to work. It can also be playable in the early stages of the game, or just to burn down your opponent's hand size later in the game, to stall for some time. And that's all for this week's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, thoughts, or incredible new ideas, let me know. This was ZapdosTCG. Thanks for watching, till next time.